Yo everyone, and welcome back to my channel. So I'm sure you guys know the drill by now. If Charlena comes on screen looking half done, it means she's about to do a review of a foundation and a demo. And today's one will be the new Too Faced Peach Perfect Comfort Matte Foundation. Why do they always have the longest names for all their products? Like their liquid lipsticks are liquid meltified, long wear, liquefied, I've forgotten what they are. So that is what my thoughts are of the name. So basically it's one of their new foundations. It's not been released in the UK as yet. I've actually had this for a couple of weeks, but I'm sure you guys have probably gathered by now for the amount of reviews and demos I've been doing of foundations. I've suddenly been buying quite a few of them. I actually got this at the end of September because September was my birthday month and I wanted to finish it off with a bang. So I was like, let me place an order with Sephora. And I don't often do that purely because it's so expensive to ship from the US to the UK through Sephora. As much as you think you're getting a good deal, then they whack on their customs, taxes, shipping, and then all of a sudden it's just like, woo! So I was treating myself at the end of the month. So I bought this. I also bought the Peach Perfect Mattifying Loose Setting Powder, as well as the eyeshadow palette, the Just Meet Peachy Mattes one, and Gingerbread Man liquid lipstick. So back onto the foundation itself, I paid $36 for it. And this actually kind of surprised me. It's 48 mil. That's almost unheard of. I mean, the standard amount for foundations is generally 30 mil. So 48 mil, sorry, for a $38 foundation, I would say is actually really good value for money. So I'm quite happy about that. And let me just show you firstly the box, because we all know that Too Faced are well known for having some of the most gorgeous, cutest, girliest packaging on the market in terms of makeup brands. So I'll just show you the box first. So here's, you can see all the spiel written on it. Here, there, oh, dropped it, nearly, there. And then this is the actual foundation itself. It comes in a squeezy tube, as you can see, with all the lovely gorgeousness. I mean, aesthetically, Too Faced's makeup is the kind of stuff you want on your dresser because it just looks so cute. So that's one side of it. Now, when I first got it, I didn't really do that much research into it because obviously it's not available in the UK and it's still fairly new, so there wasn't that many reviews and stuff around for me specifically of my skin tone as well. And I was pleasantly surprised when I bought this and I looked at it, I was like, it's a tube. And I opened it up, it's a pump. How cool is that? Oh, there's fluff on it. That's so cool, isn't it? So that's going to make it so much easier for traveling and just general use. Obviously, when the foundation does start to run out, you can just unscrew it and just scrape out all the bits and then cut it in half and then just get out the last little bits of foundation. So I really am impressed with this kind of packaging. Now, the shade that I bought mine in is Sand. In the Born This Way foundation, I buy the shade Sand and Golden. Now, I found with this one matches me very well. However, if I put too much on, it can make me look a little bit pale. Does that make sense? So it's one of those ones where if I've caked it on, basically, it will look like a mask on my face. However, that's not to say it'll be the same for everybody else, but I'm just saying in terms of skin colour, that is how it is for me. So Sand works perfectly for me as long as I don't go overboard with it. And to be honest, you don't really need to go overboard with this, as it is a medium to full coverage foundation. And Sand is described as medium with golden undertones. I'd say there's a bit more beige to this than golden, which is the reason why I have that issue where if I wear too much, you can tell. But thankfully, obviously, like I said, I've tried it out. I've worn it to death. I've worn it quite a lot over the past couple of weeks. So I know to make it work, or how to make it work for my skin colour. For reference, in MAC, I'm an NC40. That's what I am right now. Generally, throughout the year, as I start to get darker, I gravitate more towards NC42. Now, let's address the shade range Too Faced, because it always seems to be Too Faced. How many shades have you lot got? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 12 shades. 12. Is that it? That's rubbish. Literally, like, most of them are really pale. Sand, the shade that I've got, and bear in mind, I don't really consider myself to be that dark. Even in terms of South Asian, I'm kind of like right in the middle. I'm not really fair and I'm not really dark. I'm like right in the middle. This is the 9th darkest shade. Then there are another 3 after me. So basically, ladies with really deep skin, there's like 1 shade for you. I mean, when are Too Faced going to stop doing that? They always do that, and they're always like, oh, well, we're going to add an extension to our range later, like they did with the Born This Way one. Why do you have to add an extension later? Why can't you just accept and understand that women come in so many different colours? When you're going to release something from the go, you should really have all your bases covered. So I really feel that's not right for Too Faced to always have to do that. They always do that. Anyway, let's go on to their foundation itself. So, Peach Perfect Comfort Matte Foundation infused with peach and sweet fig cream. Now, that means it smells like peach and fig cream. Now, I really don't like it at all. The smell of like the sweet peach eyeshadow palette, it's got that really sweety kind of smell. It's actually not that bad. This one, because they've infused it with sweet fig cream, it smells weird. It smells like gone off moldy peach, and I really don't like it. To be honest, it's not as strong, for example, as the Huda Beauty Faux Filter Foundation, which has got that really strong perfume smell, which lingers throughout the day. It does eventually wear off, but to begin with, I'm not really a fan of that whole smell. And the same, they've got that smell with this Peach Perfect powder as well. And once or twice the powder has ended up on my tongue. You know, when you're like brushing it, it tastes sweet. I'm not encouraging people to eat it, but I'm just saying to you, if it does end up on your tongue, it tastes kind of sweet. And I'm not really sure that's safe, to be honest, but it's an accident. So what they've written on here is oil-free, 14-hour wear, oil controlling and photo friendly. And let's see, they've also written that it's medium coverage and it is transfer resistant. And altogether it says Peach Perfect is infused with refreshing peach and sweet fig cream in our exclusive Comfort Matte long wearing 14-hour formula. The modern way to wear matte foundation, photo friendly, smooth, flawless and comfortable with a soft focus velvety finish. Oil free, 14-hour wear, oil controlling, photo friendly, shine free. And on Sephora's website it says that it goes with all skin types, sensitive, normal, dry, combination and oily. Its finish is matte. Then it contains the usual gumph, you know, sweet fig cream, known for anti-oxy this and, you know, hydrating that, or whatever. But do I agree with these claims? A little bit. Oil free. Okay, well, that's what they say is oil-free. I've got combination skin, so I get oily on my T-zone. 14-hour wear, I don't think so. I would say that I start to get a bit shiny after 10 to 12 hours, which is close enough to 14 hours for me to be fairly happy with their claim. And I have, like I said, I've worn it in all conditions. It is getting cold in London now. Today's a very kind of sunny but freezing cold autumn day in London. I've worn it to work where I'm surrounded by central heating. It's rained a little bit. I've worn it in the rain. Oil controlling. Again, I don't think that it controls oil as well as other oil controlling foundations. I think it keeps it back to an extent, but then I also powder it down as well. Now, I always powder my foundation no matter what one I'm wearing. Even if I'm wearing a full matte, full coverage one, I will still powder it down. It's like a psychological thing. I have to do it. And if I didn't wear this, I think I would start to get shinier a bit sooner, maybe around hour 8 or 9. Photo friendly. Yes, I haven't had any issues of taking flash photography and that sort of thing, but then I also don't go overboard with the setting powders, because a lot of the time it's not necessarily the foundation which gives you flashback, it's the translucent powder that you're wearing over the top. It doesn't say that it has any SPF in it that I can see, and that may be the reason why there is no flashback, because it's normally SPF in your foundation which causes that to happen. It says that it's transfer resistant. I have to refute that. There is transfer that happens from this, and it happens quite a bit. It's not even like a little bit, it's quite a lot. So I think maybe when you first got the foundation on, it's fresh and everything in your face is nice and soft and the natural oils haven't started to seep through, you can probably get away with touching it a little bit. But I do have to say, after a couple of hours, if I touch my face, I have got foundation on my hands. So I'm not even going to try it on a potentially, like, this is white, you know, this is my Lulu Guinness top, it ain't happening. Medium coverage, I would say medium to full buildable, but definitely a medium coverage foundation, and I actually really like the way that this looks on the skin. And it says smooth, flawless, comfortable with a soft focus velvety finish. Yes to all of those. I would definitely say that it leaves my skin looking smooth, it leaves it looking flawless, comfortable, velvety, soft. I actually really like this foundation. I think it performs beautifully on my skin. It gives me a very natural coverage, and it doesn't look over the top. Obviously, like I said, if you pile it on and cake it on, yes, you will look like you've got a mask on your face. However, that's not the way to wear foundation. If that's what you really want, excuse me, go and wear a full coverage foundation where you can kind of get away with that and still, yeah, but no. I'm personally more of a fan of medium to full buildable coverage foundation. I find that the quality of this is really, really good. I think that it blends beautifully into the skin. There's no snagging or dragging. You can use a beauty blender or you can use a brush. It's up to you. It doesn't dry down quickly either, so you can work it into your skin and really buff it and blend it in. And I'm personally really happy with it. I think it makes my skin look really flawless. It does not accentuate the textures on my skin. It does not sit and drag itself onto dry patches on your skin. It doesn't accentuate them. It really makes me look naturally healthy, like a perfect peach. I would definitely say that it would work well with all skin types, like they've said, from normal to combination, sensitive and oily skin. Again, it's just down to you. If you make sure that you have got oily skin, make sure you wear a mattifying primer and make sure that you apply some sort of translucent powder over the top to set it. But generally, I think that all people really like this. One thing that I like is throughout the day, as my natural oils start to go through the foundation, it gives me like a healthy glow rather than a sweaty kind of glow. So if you are out all day and you have to go out in the evening, you can at least feel comfortable in knowing that you may look a little bit shiny, but it don't look that bad. So anyway, so what I'm going to do now is I'm going to do a demo of me using this. What I'm going to do is I generally tend to pump it out onto my hand and then I just apply it onto my skin. A little bit goes a really long way, but again, it is down to personal preference of how much you choose to apply on your face. I've got pigmentation on my face. I've got scars from when I was a teenager. The redness that you see is are pigmentation scars. I've got dark circles under my eyes, but I'm going to put concealer on. I don't know if you have to shake it, because I think I just do it because it's what I always do to all foundations. This is just 2 pumps, even though I probably won't use the full 2 pumps. But this is just to show you what the texture is like. It's not thick, but it's not runny either. It's like nicely in between. This is probably my favorite kind of texture, a bit of both. And I'm going to use my ordinary primer, my silicone primer. Oh, and just remember, I've got concealer around my eyebrows in case it looks like why she got white around there, because I generally do my foundation before I do my eyeshadow, but obviously I'm doing this video and I'm doing this funny as well because the foundation's running down my hand. I should have done my primer first, stupid. So the brush I'm going to use is this Sigma 3D HD Kabuki brush. Any brush or beauty blender will do. Okay, so here it is, just with quite a light layer. I didn't like put on loads, like I said, because otherwise it does have the tendency to make me look a bit too beige, because it's definitely got more of a beige undertone rather than a golden one, despite what they may say. What did they say again? Medium with golden undertones. I would say medium with beigey undertones personally. There you go, that's it. Here, so you can see underneath my neck, it matches fairly well. Not enough for it to be offensive, not enough for it to be too light, but enough that it's a little bit beige. So because it's not too light but it's a little bit too beige, it means it can still just about work. Obviously once I've done all the contouring and everything, it'll be perfectly fine. Okay, so I've already done my under eye concealer and I highlighted my face a little bit with my Tarte Shape Tape in the shade medium. I did that off camera because I wanted to show you next the Peach Perfect Mattifying Loose Setting Powder infused with peach and sweet fig cream. Again, that same smell. So this cost me $32, and the reason I wanted to try this is because I was really intrigued to try something that is a translucent powder but with a peach tone to it. I mean, for ages and ages, as you guys know, I've been using the Airspun Loose Face Powder, which I picked up in New York at the beginning of the year. And now and then I do notice that it does give me a slight white cast, which I don't like if I accidentally happen to go a little bit overboard. It happens, we're human, you know, that's just life. So I really wanted to try this. Now, it comes in a beautiful packaging like this, and it's got a sifter which you open up. But the problem that I have with this is that I have to actually tip it out onto my brush. You know how with some you can just do it upside down, let out a little bit and then open it, and then you've got some to use? Because this has got ridges in it and it actually goes and sits inside the sifters. So I unfortunately have to go like this, and that's how wastage happens, which is annoying. So I'm just going to loosely dust this all over my face. But overall, I'm really happy with this. I love this powder. It's got such a finely milled consistency to it that a little bit goes a really, really long way. If my skin feels like so soft afterwards, I can't even believe it. And I just wanted to say also with the finish of that foundation, bear in mind I've not set it, but it feels nice and soft. It's not sticky or anything like that. So if you didn't want to powder it, by all means, don't powder it, especially if you're somebody who has dry skin. You don't necessarily need to powder your face like us oily skin kind of gals. So you can always leave it. It feels lovely and it's dried to a beautiful and soft matte finish. And it hasn't come off my hands yet, but then bear in mind I've had it on for 5 minutes. So this one also says transfer resistant peach tinted powder works to visibly brighten skin while creating a silky smooth matte finish which lasts up to 14 hours. Again, the same with the hours, you know, they said that with the other foundation. It's exactly the same thing, I would say, because I've been using them with each other. But generally, I'm really happy with this, and I'm happy with that I bought it as well. The price is obviously a bit expensive, but then that's down to personal preference, whether or not you choose to spend $32 on a powder. And a little bit goes a really, really long way. I am tasting it, bloody powder, peach tasting. I hope this is edible, because I hope they took that into consideration when making a powder which flies around and lands on your tongue. So that's it. So this is the Too Faced Peach Perfect Comfort Matte Foundation. I had to look, can't remember the name, along with the powder as well. Overall, I'm very happy with it. I would give it a 8 out of 10. The reason I didn't give it a 10 is because there's only 12 shades and it does not live up to the 14-hour claim that it says as well. And it also says that it's transfer resistant, which I say is not true. So I give it an 8 out of 10. I'm going to finish off the rest of my makeup and I'll be back in a second. And voila, I'm back. The rest of my makeup is now done on my lips. I'm wearing Anastasia Beverly Hills Dazed liquid lipstick, which is one of my favourite shades of hers, by the way. I've used this one quite a few times. And if you're someone like me who has 100,001 million lipsticks, to use one multiple times is it says a lot. So yeah, so this is how it all looks now completed. As you can see, it looks really nice. It's really soft, so it's nicely settled on the skin. It feels soft, it feels natural, and it gives a very natural foundation kind of finish to the skin. So I hope you guys enjoy this video. Like, comment, subscribe. Let me know if you are going to get it or if you have got it or whatever. Let me know in the comments bar below. Until the next time, see you all later. Bye.